audible.
The screen which is visible,
Yes, ma'am.
the PDF which I have shared now,
Yes, ma'am.
common cellular network components. Is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. We'll start now. So I think we have started with common cellular network components. I think 15 days back. So we just gone through the components which are present in the cellular network, which is divided into three main sections. That is, one is mobile, and it is called as subscriber device, and we have a base station system. So base station system consists of the antenna, the radio base station, and a base station controller and transcoder. Okay, so we combinedly called as a base station system. Then the one more, the main category called as network switching system. So it is comprised of MSC, that is mobile switching center, then some of the databases like home location register, visitor location register, VLR, and equipment identity register. Okay, and some functional nodes like flexible numbering register, that is used for number portability, interworking location register for system roaming, and also you have IWF, interworking function node. This is for connecting to the internet or a data network. Then you have a GMSC, that is Gateway Mobile Switching Center. So Gateway Mobile Switching Center is used to connect to mobile switching MSCs or more MSCs through GMSC. Okay, then it is connected to the PSTN. And also you have an SMS center to transmit and receive the short message service. So SMS GMSC for incoming and SMS IWMSC for outgoing to a service center. So these are the external interfaces which is connected other than the network switching system, that is to SMS service center. PSTN is for LAN mobile networks or a public switched or LAN telephone network, and public data network for internet connection. And FNR is for flexible numbering register and interworking location register for system roaming, and equipment identity register is used for a database, how many number of mobile stations which are working and how many mobiles are not working, how many mobiles are reported as stolen or missing. So how many mobiles are blacklisted and whitelisted? All information about the mobile station which is under its uh, system. So it will be stored in a global database that is called as equipment identity register. And one more is called as an authentication center. So that gives you authentication, that is how many mobiles are registered and how many mobiles are not registered, or it is based on that it will provide the authentication, that is called as, we can say, encryption and decryption details by providing ciphering key, that is ciphering key is for encryption, and signed response. Okay, and one more is called as random number. So these three we call it as a triplet. So that will be transmitted to the subscriber or the mobile to get the authentication. Okay, so that is called as an authentication center, and it will provide the security and privacy for the user. So without having this authentication key or the random number, no one can decode the information over the air interface. So that is the function of the authentication center. And HLR is a home location register that will be mainly used for a database, general data about the subscriber. So what is the plan he has taken, and also the location, address, okay, all the information about the user, it will be stored in the HLR. So this entire thing, it consists of MSC, that is mobile switching center, along with the functional nodes and the databases. And also it is an interface which is connected to the external interfaces like PSTN, PDN, and SMS center. So this entire thing we call it as a network switching system. Okay, and also we need to have a billing information, right? So service provider needs the information or a billing or the profit, they need to make it, and any external user, they have to provide these service or the connections to the user. So that has to be done in administrative and control system. So it will be in between, it is connected. That is mobile station. Any new mobile enter into the network, so it will collect the billing information. So that is called as an administrative and control system. So this is the basic block diagram of a cellular network or cellular system components. Okay. So this you need to study. Each and every unit start with a subscriber device and a base station system, and also a network switching system and administrative and control systems. All those things you are going to study individually in this particular chapter. Okay. The base station system is connected to a fixed switching system, okay, that handles the routing of voice calls and data services to and from the mobile station or the subscriber device. So that is the function of the base station system. It consists of an antenna, radio base station, and the transcoder controller unit, base station control. So this switching system usually consists of mobile switching center and various databases, that is HLR, VLR, EIR, okay, and functional nodes like FNR, IWF, ILR, used to support the mobility management, okay, and security operations of the system. Security operations of the system means authentication center, mobility management means interworking location register and other things. So the switching system is usually connected to the PSTN, that is public switch telephone network, and PDN, other public land mobile networks, PLMNS, and various data messaging networks through gateway switches. Okay. Other typical connections to the switching system are network management system and other accounting or administrative data entry system. So these are the main blocks of the common cellular system components. So let us see now various network elements and its functions. So various network elements that make up the wireless systems are interconnected by communication link that transports system messages between the network elements to facilitate network operations and deliver the actual voice call or data service information. So the main services are transmission of actual voice call, then data services, then also SMS. It also comes under the voice and data, and also supplementary services. So these are the three main functions of the cellular system. One is transferring the voice call and receiving the voice call, and data services, okay, which is connected to the internet. And third one is the SMS service, and also you have a supplementary services. So let us see what is supplementary services. Supplementary services means it will support or enhance the that is voice calls. The examples for the supplementary services is call waiting, call forwarding, call bearing, conference call, okay, and it will also indicate who is calling, call identification, caller ID. So all are supplementary services. Okay, so these are the services provided by the cellular network. So network elements and brief overviews of their basic functions. Okay, so that has to be explained in this particular chapter. So let us see now first component, that is a subscriber device. So that is nothing but your mobile unit. So they have given the general block diagram. So mobile means you have an input thing which is connected. The input may be a video, audio, or any message signals through multimedia inputs. And also you have, once you convert that data into analog into a digital, then the different kind of input which you are going to give, audio, multimedia, and control information, that is by using digital speech coding and signal processing. Okay, that is converted in analog signal into digital by using digital speech coding and signal processing. Then obviously we use some digital modulation technique. By using modulation, we are going to transmit the signal. We amplify, final amplification, RF electronics, that is radio frequency, the frequency in which we are going to transmit the signal over the air interface, and we are going to amplify it. Okay, then we are transmitting the signal over the antenna. So this is the transmitter section of your mobile. So we have an input signals, that is through microphone, okay, or through a keypad if it is a message, or if it is an image or a video signals, that is we call it as a multimedia, audio multimedia signals, along with some control information. We convert this signal into a digital. Okay, it may be audio, multimedia, or any information we convert it into digital. So that is called as digital speech coding and signal processing. So some high-end digital signal processors will be used. Then we convert that signal into a form of zeros and ones. That is by using any digital modulation technique, we modulate the signal. So obviously this is a wireless communication techniques. We are going to use an antenna to transmit the signal. So this entire thing we call it as a transmitter system. Then also we have a receiver section. So what will be in the receiver? We receive the signal. It can be audio signal or any information like multimedia, video, image, something like SMS or whatever it is. So once it is received, then we have to, once we modulate means we need to demodulate. Selectable digital demodulation signal, that is at the receiver. Then we do decoding, digital speech decoding and signal processing. Finally, that digital signal has to be converted into an analog signal using a speaker, right? So that we displayed the multimedia display. So this is the receiver section. And also we have some memory, right? So we need to store the data of user information, or you are going to store some data or some images or something like that. So we need to have a memory subsystem. And also we have a system control, RF system, subsystem control, and it is a duplexer. Duplexer means while transmitting, it acts as a transmitter, while receiving it acts as a receiver. So it's called as RF duplexer. This is the system which is called as control. Okay. So all these connections will be connected to the input output device, right? So as I told you, you have a multimedia inputs. So we have a display unit. So any mobile you have a display, right? You have a touch screen display, high resolution display, and also we have a system control. System control is through a processor, and also we have in earlier mobile we have a soft keys and keyboard touch screen. So now it is a touch screen. So that is a soft keys which is inside the mobile. That is this part will be all these things we call it as a man-machine interface. So whatever the data we need to send or receive, or anything you wanted to download or upload into a system through the man-machine interface. So that is called as local data input output device through external connection. So entire system we require a obviously power to energize the system. So we need a local power or power subsystem to all subsystems. So this is the general block diagram of a mobile system. So we have a transmitter section. The transmitter section is nothing but we have a DSP. It is analog signal is converted to digital. Then we transmit using any digital modulation technique. We amplify the signal and transmit over the antenna. Simply we receive the signal at the receiver, then demodulate it, decode, and convert digital signal into analog signal by using the speaker. There we are using microphone and we are using a speaker. Similarly, we need to have a man-machine interface to control the operations, to transmit, receive, anything we want to do means we have a man-machine interface. So there we have a display. Okay, then we need to upload or download the data. We have a local data input output connections, and finally we have a power system, right? So these are the general block diagram of the mobile device or a subscriber device. So that you need to explain. So what will be there in the man-machine interface, and what will be there in the RF transceiver section? Okay, what will be there in the signal processing section? As I told you, we have a digital signal processor, and also we have speech sampling, coding, channel coding, audio and video processing. Okay, depending upon the type of input, they are going to do sampling and coding and channel coding. So that is also very important. Channel coding means what type of information we are going to transmit, whether it is a traffic or it may be a supplementary data or it may be a control channel. So based on that, it is going to do channel coding. Channel coding is nothing but the final coding which we are going to transmit over the data over the air interface. It is in the form of frames. Okay, and audio and video processing. Next is the system control processors, provides overall subscriber device management. Okay, and so subscriber device management means what exactly it is? it implements the required interface with the other wireless network elements to provide radio resource. So what do you mean by radio resource? At what frequency it is going to transmit the signal? What is the output power? All those things it is going to take care. So that is system control processors will take care of it. And also connection management. Okay. So what is the signal strength? So and also connection management means the handoff operation also come into picture while transmitting and receiving the voice or any data, and mobility management. So this is also handoff operation functions through software control of the various functions and operations. It must perform, set up and maintain the air interface radio link. As I told you, so any connections where if you want to do, or any transmission of voice or video or any data between the mobile and the wireless network, so we need to set up the and maintain the air interface radio link. So these all those things will be taken care by the control unit of system control processors. So it may be just to take care of radio resource. It also take care of connection management, mobility management functions through software control to perform various operations. And finally, as I told you, power supply section, it is required to energize the entire system, and battery operated sophisticated algorithm built into the system to save and optimize the power usage as much as possible in an effort to extend the battery life. So that is also very important. So we should have we used to prefer the long life battery which is used in the mobile. So that is what they have used, sophisticated algorithm, and will be used to minimize the power usage and for a battery life, to extend the battery life. So when the battery becomes discharged, it may be recharged through a home accessory battery charger or through the accessory connector of one's car. So this is all which is present in the subscriber device. So we have an external connection for charging the battery, uploading or downloading the data from the PC system or anything. Okay, and also we have the control section, transmitter section, receiver section, and also the important thing is a man-machine interface. So this entire thing will be present in the subscriber device. Hope you understand this. So next we'll move on to base station system components. So what will be there in the base station system components? As we have seen that in the figure, right? So in the base station system components consists of an antenna. Then we have a radio base station. As I told you, radio base station we have two types. One is CDMA, another one is TDMA. And base station controller. So what is this base station controller does? It will control the many radio base station under its control. So single base station, we have more number of radio base station. Okay, so the base station controller function is to control the radio base station. What do you mean by control radio base station? I will tell you later. Okay, and also the base station controller is integrated with the one more unit called as a transcoder. Base station controller bar transcoder. So these three components we called as a base station system. Let us see now the function of base station system. So the base station system handles all radio interface related functions for the wireless network. Okay, all radio interface related functions means, so it is from mobile to a radio base station, so over the air interface. Okay, so all wireless related data. For wireless network, the base station typically consists of several to many radio base stations. As I told you, it has many radio base stations. Okay, huge number of radio base stations will be there. It will provide the mobility to the user. So coverage, it will cover some of the geographical area. So like that, many radio base stations are present in the base station system. A base station controller and a transcoder controller. So also we have many radio base stations and a single base station controller, okay, and a transcoder controller. So it should be noted that these last two network elements did not exist in the analog cellular system. First generation cellular systems, we have not seen the base station controller and transcoder controller unit, right? So we have a mobile station, radio base station. Radio base station is directly connected to the MSC. But in higher generation cellular systems, So many radio base stations are controlled by a single base station controller, and also we have a transcoder controller. So it should be noted, in the first generation cellular system, radio base stations were connected directly to the MSC. The radio equipment required to serve one cell is typically called as the base transceiver system. A single radio base station might contain three base transceiver systems and are used to serve a cell site that consists of three 12-degree sectors or cells. So the radio base station equipment includes antennas, transmission lines, power couplers, radio frequency power amplifiers, and tower mounted preamplifiers and any other associated hardware needed to make the system functional. So you have to understand what is base station system components. It is completely a hardware unit. Okay. So there are three antennas will be used of each 120-degree directional antennas to cover the entire site, okay, to serve a cell site, and many radio base stations are connected to a single base station control, and it consists of an antennas, okay, and also we have a transmission lines which is connected from the antenna to a radio base station to a base station control, right? So transmission lines and power couplers. So power couplers is nothing but connected from one system to another system, and radio frequency power amplifiers. Okay, we are transmitting the signal in RF range, so we need to have an amplifiers and tower mounted preamplifiers. So that is nothing but the radio base stations, which is the antennas which are placed on the tower. So from there we need to have an amplify the signal, and we will connect it to the base station control and any other hardware needed to make the system functional. So the base station system is mainly the antennas, power couplers, then amplifiers, and also we have radio frequency power amplifiers. So these are the combinations of a hardware units we call it as a base station control. Next is base station controller function is to. What is the function with this hardware? So what it does to supervise the operation of a number of radio base stations that provide coverage for a contiguous area. So that is nothing but there are many radio base stations which is under the single base station controller. So it is going to supervise the operation of the number of base stations which is connected to the base station controller. Okay, so don't confuse. Radio base station is nothing but mini radio base station. It is nothing but an antenna system. It's called as a cell. So all the cells which are connected to a single BSC, base station control. So hope you understand this. Then it provides the communication links to the fixed part of the wireless network. Okay, so all the radio base stations are the cells which are connected to a single base station controller, and it performs. Its function is to supervise the operation of the number of radio base stations under its control, and also it provides the connections to the land mobile networks, okay, and also to the data network, and supervises a number of interface mobility functions. Okay, some of the tasks include, so what does it not only connected to the PSTN and PDN, okay, and also it provides the coverage. Also it does the public data, that is the tasks which are include mobility functions, that means handoff operations which is within this coverage area. When he is moving, it has to connect it to this, and some of these tasks include location and handoff operations. Okay, so which location the mobile is present, and handoff operations. As I told you, it is moving from one radio base stations or one sector to another sector, and the gathering of radio measurement data. So what does it mean? Radio measurement data means when it is transmitting a signal to the mobile station to radio base station or radio base station to mobile station. So what is the power or the radio output power? It is there. So radio measurement data from both the mobile device and the radio base station. So in both the sides, so it has to maintain the proper received signal strength within the radio base station. So each radio base stations may not be the same output power or the same threshold values. It will vary depending upon the area the radio base stations are placed. And the base station controller is used to initially set up the radio base station parameters. Okay, so what are the parameters? Channels of operations. So as I told you, what do you mean by controlling of radio base station? By the BSC. So what it does is, it will set up the radio base station parameters. So if you have around 10 radio base stations are under the control of single base station control, so it will allocate the channels for each radio base stations, and also logical cell names. So logical cell names means it is an identification numbers which is given to the each radio base station. Okay, so logical cell names means the software identification of the radio base station, and also handoff threshold values. As I told you, handoff threshold values means received signal strength, mainly received signal strength of the each radio base station, the coverage area, output power decide. Okay, with particular radio base station, what should be the coverage area? That depends on the what is the output power of the particular antenna. So that is nothing but each radio base station will have its own handoff threshold values. As I told you, the radio base stations are placed in the urban areas or the city areas. The coverage will be small. Small antennas will be used. Small low power antennas will be used. If it is situated or implemented at the rural areas, so the output power will be more. So in that handoff threshold values also will be high. So all those things will be decided by the base station control, or it is controlled by the base station control. So these are, it is nothing but a controlling of radio base station by the base station control. Channels of operations, if not it is required, it will change the channels, and logical names it will be given. If the new cells which are connected to the base station, it will provide the logical names, and also it will decide based on the where the radio base stations are implemented. Based on that, it will change the output power which is required. Okay, and also the handoff threshold values, or change them as needed. So all these things will be done by the base station control. So BSC is also used to supervise alarms issued by the radio base station to indicate faults or the existence of abnormal conditions in the system operation. Okay, if there is any problem in the radio base stations, it is going to take care of that. Okay, so that is if not, because it is an entirely an hardware component, so it will indicate, it will set the alarm. Okay, so automatically clearing the fault or alarms, whereas the other faults require operator interventions in the form of an on-site visit by a field service technician. Say for example, in your particular area, if the coverage area it will not provide the proper coverage area and all, so field or officer or a technician will go there and he is going to adjust the uh, uh, coverage of an antenna, okay, or tilting the antenna position. So that is required for the operator intervention. So it cannot be controlled by the BSC. So that has to be taken care by the BSC, where exactly it is not covering the area and other things. Next is a transcoder controller. So along with the BSC, it's an integrated unit. So we call it as a transcoder controller. So what is the function of transcoder function controller is, as I told you, rate adaptation. So what do you mean by rate adaptation? Means voice information that has been converted to a standard digital pulse code modulation. Okay, so voice information that has been converted to a PCM. So format is transmitted within the PSTN over the standard T1, E1, J1 telephone circuits at 64 kilobits per second. So the voice information which has to be transmitted to the public land mobile networks by using PCM, it is at 64 kilobits per second over the T1, E1, J1 telephone circuits. That means it is a transmission line. There we are going to transmit the data to the PSTN at 64 kilobits per second. Okay. So both TDMA and CDMA systems use data rates of 16 kilobits per second or less for the transmission of voice and control information over the air interface. So any base station controls, if you take, whether it may be TDMA or CDMA, as I told you, over the air interface from mobile to radio base station and radio base station to mobile, it is only 16 kilobits per second or less than that. It's very less data transmission. Okay, so it will transmit for the transmission of voice over the transcoder controller function is to convert the PCM data stream to a format suitable for the air interface. That means data which is coming from the PSTN is at 64 kilobits per second. That is over the fiber optic cable, which is standard called as T1, E1, J1 transmission line. Okay, that is at 64 kbps to a 16 kbps. Okay, stream format suitable for the air interface means we require 16 kbps and vice versa. So that is we call as a rate adaptation. Okay, next is vocoding. That is also one of the function of the transcoder controller. So its function is to convert analog signal. See, another term is used to process converting audio to a digital format suitable for cellular transmission. So that is the function of the transcoder controller. So TRC. TRC is two functions it does. One is that is called rate adaptation. Another one is called vocoding. Okay. So 4 kilobits per second to 16 kbps over the air interface, and the data which is coming from the mobile station from the air interface to a radio base station is 16 kbps, and it is connected to the PSTN. We convert it into a 64 kbps over the T1E1 J1 telephone carrier system. So that operations or the rate adoption will be done by this TRC. Okay. So we can see the base station controllers functions. As I told you, many radio base stations are controlled by the single BSC. Okay. So we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 10 radio base stations are there. All radio base stations are connected by single BSC or TRC unit. Okay. Then from BSC, it is connected to MSC and to the public land mobile public data network. Okay. So this is how the hardware view of the cellular network. So many radio base stations are connected to a single BSC. So BSC will decide what is the output power of this radio base station, what should be the output power of this radio base station, what is the handoff threshold values of this radio base station, and what is the logical name which can be given to this radio base station. So for a global identification of the radio base station. So all those things will be decided by this BSC, and if possible, it can be changed them as needed. And also the RF output power and frequency allocation, channel operations, everything will be decided by this BSC. And earlier, MSC will take care of it, but number of radio base station has increases, so that part of the work will be done by this BSC. So that is nothing but controlling the radio base station. Hardware, how it looks, BSC, TRC and radio base stations is like a racks. You can see here. So this is the BSC, this is TRC, and these are the radio base stations. See, this is one radio base station, second radio base station, third, fourth, 5, 6. So like this, many radio base stations are connected to a single BSC. So it will set one radio base stations, one radio frequency, channels of operations, and end of threshold values. Everything will be controlled by a single BSC. So these are the radio base stations. Similarly, TRC. So for each radio base stations, and it is connected to the PSTN, it will be through the TRC for rate adoption. So it looks like a racks are the boards which are connected. In that boards, it performs many. It has some many number of ICs will be placed in the printed circuit board PCB. So there it does its operations. What exactly it needs to do? Like for example, TRC, it has to convert analog signal into a digital signal which is suitable for the air interface. Similarly, rate adoption has to be done. All those things will be done by the IC and other electronic components which will be taken care by each radio base station output power and channels, everything connected to the PSTN. Okay, then from PSTN to an air interface. So this is how it looks, BSC, TRC and RBCs. So physically, these units, right, BSC, TRC and RBCs, so entire thing we call it as a base station system, are contained in the standard radio relay rack enclosures. Okay, so it looks like this. So for all these, power supplies will be connected, control environmental conditions, switching, communications, processing, and so on. Additional hardware details and other things will be given in the chapter 5. Okay. So that is the overall base station system. Let us see now individual, that is radio base station system. So as I told you, there are two types of radio base stations. One is called as TDMA radio base station, that is for GSM mobiles. Another one is CDMA radio base station, that is for CDMA mobiles. Okay, there are two types of radio base stations. So based on the radio base stations, we called as the CDMA or GSM mobiles or CDMA mobiles. So only the changes is the data air interface. Okay. In TDMA or GSM, we are using time division multiple access. In CDMA, we are using code division multiple access technology. That is the only difference, the data transfer over the air interface from mobile to radio base station. The remaining things are same. So in TDMA radio base stations consists of distribution switch and associated processor used to cross connect the individual time slots of an incoming data stream to the correct transceiver units and provide overall system synchronization. Obviously, any TDMA system we require a synchronization and multiple transceiver units, one per one time slot with the ability to perform RF measurements on received signals. Okay. Then also we have transceiver system energy control unit to supervise and control the system power requirement and also regulate the environmental conditions of the radio base stations. The power supply components both rectified AC and battery supply DC to provide the power for system operations. Okay, in TDMA system means obviously we have a cross-connected individual time slots. Okay, so we have a distribution switch. So in case of CDMA, as we all know that CDMA means it is using the same frequency for all the uplink or downlink channels. To many same switching functions, RF transceiver, power supply, environmental condition components like a TDMA, and also we have a GPS system in CDMA. So both now it is both in TDMA and CDMA. And for CDMA radio base stations, a typical design might consist of main and remote unit, fiber optic communications cables and power supply cables. These cables supply all the signals needed to high power RF amplification, remote electronics that are typically mounted antenna near the system antenna. So this is about the CDMA base station and TDMA base stations. It is clearly given for a CDMA systems, the transmission is performed on the same frequency. As I told you, it is using the entire channel, okay, for both uplink as well as downlink. So for precise timing, power control, encoding and decoding are required to optimize the system operations. So if you want to connect it to the proper subscriber device from the channel, so as I told you, they are using some encryption and decryption technique. Okay, so the in CDMA, it is mainly we are using encoding and decoding for optimize the system operations. The necessary subsystem components required for proper function CDMA radio base station reflect this fact. But in case of TDMA system, frequency spectrum is a scarce resource. So it is divided. Primary function of base station system is optimized use of available frequencies. And also it is using frequency hopping and support dynamic power regulations, discontinuous transmission modes. So all these features will be used to reduce the interference levels within a TDMA system. Okay. So this entire frequency spectrum is divided, and each divided frequency channel allocation is given to 8 users by dividing into a time slots, and this is how it is providing synchronization and connected to the system. But in case of CDMA, same frequency will be used for all the transmissions, and for precise timing, power control, and for security purpose, we are using encoding and decoding for optimize the system operations. So that is the major difference between TDMA and CDMA radio base stations. And next we'll see the base station controller. Okay. So as I already told you, base station controller controls all the radio base stations. Okay. So that is nothing we need to explain. The system organization tends to divide up these systems into provide connection link between the MSC and it is connected to the MSC interface. It will provide the interface to the MSC, PSTN, PDN network. Okay. Then, so as I told you, another switching fabric that can deal with transmission less than 64 is usually unavailable within the base, adding increased functionality of the system by using PRC, transcoding functions. It is a combined unit called as DSC bar PRC unit. So this is called as a CDMA wireless system, right? So we have the entire thing is same, subscriber device to radio base stations. Then many radio base stations are connected to a single base station control, and many base station control are connected to a single MSC. And MSC, from MSC it is connected to PSTN as well as PDN. So if it is connected to PDN means through interworking function mode. Okay, so it is called as interworking function mode. Okay, next is a transcoder controller. So it consists of a subsystem that performs transcoding and rate adaptation. TRC can be either a standalone unit or more commonly combined with the DSC. Okay, it is called as an integrated DSC bar TRC. So the TRC can also support the power saving options of discontinuous transmission. If pauses in speech are detected, the mobile station will discontinuous transmission and the TRC will generate the comfort noise back toward the DSC and MSC VLR. Okay, so what is TRC does is, it is also one of the important function it will do. So what exactly it is called as a power saving option of the discontinuous transmission. So what it does is when we are talking in between, the pauses in the speech are detected. So instead of transmitting the power for the no speech, so instead of that, it will generate some comfort noise. It will save the power during the pauses in the speech is detected. So that is one of the power saving options that will be provided by the TRC along with the rated option. Okay, so unwanted noise will not be added within that particular time. So that's why it is generating some comfort noise. So for that, it will be require very less amount of power to transmit the uh, low power noise. So when pauses in the speech are detected to save the power. So that is one of the options which will be provided by the TRC for power saving. Okay, next is both TDMA and CDMA system transmit speech over the air interface using digital encoding techniques that yield data rates less than 16 kbps. The same thing it is repeated, that is we call it as a data adoption. Okay, so the PSTN uses PCM encoding scheme that yields a data rate of 64 kbps. Therefore, voice messages coming from the PSTN must be transported to a rate suitable for the cellular system. And similarly, voice messages originating from the mobile station must be transported to a format suitable for the PSTN. So this is 16 and this here it requires 64 kbps because the transmission mode is different. Here it is air interface and here we are using T1, E1, J1 carrier system for PCM data transmission. So that will carry 64 kbps. So normally it does mux and demux operation. So this operation takes place in the TRC. The incoming PCM signal in the PSTN is converted back to an analog signal. At this point, 20 millisecond segment of the analog signal are converted to digital code by a voice known as vocoder. So what it does is, it will convert this analog signal into a digital code that we call it as an vocoder. Okay. So in the vocoder compares the 20 millisecond speech segment against a table of values. The entry in the table that closest to the actual value is used to produce code word that is much shorter than the corresponding PCM code for the 20 millisecond period. So this I will tell you in the voice speech signal processing. Okay, how exactly the speech will be processed for mobile communication. So there you will understand how the 20 millisecond segment of voice will be converted into a digital and other things. So now, as for this particular operations, you just understand what is the function of a TRC, that it is used for rate adoption and also for vocoding. So vocoding is nothing but converting analog voice signal into a digital code. It is known as vocoder. Okay, so don't worry about this 20 millisecond segment and other things, so that you are going to study in speech processing in mobile communication. So once it's completed base system components, we'll move on to the switching system components. So as stated, the switching system performs several necessary cellular network functions. Okay, so it consists of MSC, both the radio network operation of the system, and it also provides interfaces to the outside networks called as PSTN and PDN. As I told you, there are some functional and databases which is present in the MSC like HLR, VLR, Authentication Center, and Equipment Identity Register, etc. Okay, so that contain information about the systems of their network privileges and supplementary services. Okay, and also the present subscriber device location and other information necessary to locate, authenticate, and maintain radio link connections to the subscriber device. So let us see now each and individually databases. So first one is visitor location register. So when we are writing MSC bar VLR, so what exactly that visitor location register functions? So database, it is a database that temporarily stores information about any mobile station.
Ma'am, excuse me, ma'am.
Ah, you have class now?
Yes, ma'am. Vinay sir is waiting, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I'll stop today's class. We'll see you in the next class. Okay, thank you.